for attending this press conference. Coach will open up with a few thoughts, if you don't mind.
Yeah, credit to James Madison. I thought they played a really good game, and as I expected, they're a program that's used to playing in March, and so they were going to show up prepared and compete at a high level, which they did. We got off to a really slow start, especially shooting the ball, and that didn't allow us to get in our press and get in much of a rhythm in the game. So, once we started making some shots, I thought we played obviously much better.
We'll open it up the floor for questions. Front row.
Thomas Costello, Land Grant Holy Land. Coach, thanks for the time. About the shooting, was kind of third game in a row where the first half was tough shooting. Tonight, was it the shot selection? Was it not enough passing? What did you see as the reason that maybe the shots weren't falling?
Yeah, I thought actually we're getting pretty good shots. I mean, we had several open shots in our perimeter and then shots around the basket. We just weren't finishing. And, we looked a little rusty from being off for a couple weeks. And so hopefully this allows us to settle in and, we'll get off to a better start on Monday.
And was that the message also in the timeout there?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that I wanted to emphasize is that, sometimes when you are missing shots and you start to get behind, people try to make plays outside of the offense, kind of hero ball. Hey, I'm going to make a play to get my team back in it. And that's something that I just really emphasize. Keep executing what we're doing and keep getting good shots. They'll fall. Just make sure we get good shots.
Kevin, Bill Rabinowitz from the Columbus Dispatch. Caused 21 turnovers. I think it was only 3 in the first quarter. Was there conscious effort to turn it up, or was it just a matter of being able to make shots and then be able to set up the pressure?
Biggest thing is we couldn't get in the press because we couldn't make a shot. And so we really, it sounds obvious because it is, but, we were having a hard time just getting the game the way we wanted because, they were playing in transition offense the whole time in the first quarter. And so once the shots started going in and we could get in the press, I think that obviously turned the tide in the game.
And you're down 16. You know what happens in March. It's March Madness. I mean, how concerned were you?
Obviously you're always concerned when you get behind, but the good thing about this group is we've come back and we have a style that can play from behind, number one, and number two, we've done this before. And so I think they have some confidence that, regardless, of what's going on, if we keep playing our style and so forth, that we'll have a chance to come back and win.
Kevin, Cameron Teague from The Athletic. You mentioned making shots. Just how big in that second quarter was just being able to get to the free throw line? It seemed like that allowed you guys to get in the press, and then the shots came after that.
Same. Yeah, I would agree. Once we started getting the line and made some free throws, and we could set the press and kind of get the tempo the way we wanted.
And kind of off that, the press in that second quarter really sped up James Madison. Is that kind of how you wanted, kind of how you foresaw that to go? You speed them up, get the crowd into it, and things kind of go.
Yeah, I thought our press could be effective, and like I said, we just couldn't get in enough in the first quarter. But they're a good team. I thought they were organized in it, and I think in general it kind of wore on them, and we were able to pull away late in the game because I thought the pressure throughout the game had an effect.
Braden Mills, Buckeye Sports Bulletin. For Kevin, it seems like both teams at points had some issues with the officiating. To what degree did you feel that kind of impacted the flow of the game, the number of fouls being called?
Yeah, there were a lot of fouls, so it was hard for either team to get in much of a flow. And I think it was consistently a lot of fouls for both teams. So maybe not the way we wanted it, but it was fairly consistent. And it's just hard for us because we play in a Big Ten, and it's like 4th and 1 every possession throughout coming down the stretch. It's like a football game. And then, they're not calling a lot of fouls, and you get out here and it's a little bit different. So, but hey, that's what happens this time in March is you got to adjust to the way the game is going. And, I think we handled it as well as you could.
And with JC, she played, I think it was about 36 minutes. Was that kind of the expectation you had for her going in, or was that just kind of the flow of the game? She played as much as
a little bit of both. We obviously, when we went to the Big Ten tournament, it was a much more conservative effort just to ease her back into it. And so I think we were successful in that in terms of, we played her 15 to 16, 17, 18 minutes, but she's felt pretty good in the 2 weeks after. So we knew we'd be able to get her for a significant amount of time today.
Kevin, Dan Hope from 11 Warriors. Just what do you look at as maybe why this team has had some trouble getting out to slow starts, and what does it take to overcome that so you can play a full 40 minutes when you need to?
Yeah, I don't know. It's like I thought, like I said, I thought our shot selection was good early on, and we should be somewhat fresh to start the game, but we didn't look in much of a rhythm, and so I don't know. I just think the thing that the other thing I would have said that we could have emphasized a little more, some offensive rebounding, and we weren't really doing that. So, a combination of maybe a little bit more at the rim shots around the basket, maybe get to the free throw line earlier and not just settle for threes would be something that would give us a little more balance in terms of getting off to a better start.
For Cody, she had 18 points tonight. Just what impresses you about her to see her rise to the occasion in her first NCAA tournament game?
Well, just how hard she plays and competes. I mean, she's done that since the first day she stepped on campus is the thing that's been most impressive to me. If you look at where she was, and you guys wouldn't have seen her play last year, she came at Christmas, but where she was the first day to where she is today, she's made a tremendous amount of progress. It's because she practices really hard. She competes at a high level. She's really coachable. And so you can see she's got God-given talent, but I think a lot of people have that, but most people don't have the motor that she has or the competitive character that she has, and that's why I think we're really just starting to scratch the surface on the player she's going to be.
Shane Mellon, News Record, Harrisonburg, Virginia. There's been some talk about if the women might eventually go to neutral sites in early rounds. Obviously, crowd was fun today, but
Yeah.
having been power conferences, mid-majors in your career, do you have an opinion on what they should do there?
I think that it would be great if we could get to that and still have the environment like we had today. I think that's ideal, just like the men do it. I don't know that we're there yet to where we could generate the crowds that we had today. I think it's really important to have a great environment for the NCAA tournament. I'm really thankful for our fans that showed up today. I thought they played a part in the game, quite frankly. When we really got going in the second half, the crowd was electric. But I do think it would be great to have neutral courts. I just don't know I think we're closer today than we were a couple of years ago, because I know you look around the Big Ten, everybody's drawn really, really well. And so I think eventually you may be able to carve out some sites where we could get great neutral court crowds, and I think it'd be awesome.
Yeah, I'm guessing you haven't been out on the town a whole lot the past few days, but Columbus kind of has shown that one city could handle men's and women's at the same time.
Yeah,
Would
you're
that be
right. You're right. And our city's built for this. The people who put these events on in town are incredible and amazing. They're well organized. We got a bunch of hotels and a bunch of great restaurants. So I think Columbus could be a town that could do that. Yes.
Yes, for JC. Obviously, it's probably been the most trying year of your career, right? I mean, missing all this time. How did you deal with it mentally? And now that you're here and seemingly at full strength for March, what's it feel like?
Yeah, I think just finding ways to stay in the gym, find a way to stay around these guys is what helped me out the most. We have a great group, so just being able to see them every day helped a ton. And then being out there is awesome. We've got a great team, like I said. We have great chemistry, so playing with them is just fun.
And how hard was it to kind of mentally stay, where you needed to be?
Yeah, I think I just tried to focus on, them and the game and not really myself. So I think it was, like I said, it was fun. It was exciting. We definitely got to a slow start, but I think once we started playing our game, it was a lot of fun.
Thomas Costello, Land Grant. JC, in the fourth quarter, Ricky Harris came over to you. You were kind of strategizing on the court side there. For months, it's been talking about, okay, you've been watching from the bench, but what does it mean now to have somebody like Ricky on the bench watching, maybe not playing as many minutes, but still being able to share with you like what she's seeing on the court?
Yeah, Ricky's an incredible person and a great teammate and a great leader. So she's always talking to all of us, to be honest, keeping us in check, telling us what she's seeing on the court and off. So she's somebody that's really special to this program, and she keeps us going. She's awesome.
Just for Kevin, just to have JC back at full strength, what does that do for you all as a team? What is maybe that extra spark that gives to you all?
Well, she's really special in the press, number one. So our press is at a different level when she's out there because of her speed, quickness, and intensity that she plays with. Our pace is much better when she's on the floor, or when the ball's on her hand, in her hands, it's getting up the court quicker than normal, and then these guys will run with her, so we're at a better pace. And I just think in general, she's the person on our team that makes everybody better. And so everybody gets a little bit better when JC's on the court.
Any other questions? Go ahead.
Yeah, Jacob Bench with the Associated Press. For Cody, when you hit that three there in the second half, it gave your team the lead there. It was also your team's first three of the game. Just that moment right there, how meaningful was it for you, just that moment in the game, getting that lead, getting that comeback, and seeing it all the way through? And then how much did your first NCAA tournament game live up to your expectations?
Yeah, I felt like hitting that three, we all just needed to see one go in. And after that, T Mike started getting hot and stuff like that. So I thought it was really important for us to kind of get going after that. And that was the shot that kind of helped us get going. As far as my first NCAA, appearance, I thought it was sweet. No better feeling than, coming in your home court and having a huge crowd and having everybody behind you. I thought it was sweet. Obviously, my family, huge supporters, and I thought it was really cool, being able for them to all make it here.
Great. Any other questions? Cody, JC, Kevin, thank you very much. We'll see you
Thank
tomorrow. And I will say, for those of you, the CEO of the Columbus Sports Commission, Linda Logan, is sitting in the back row right there. She's a big reason why we're hosting what we're hosting all the time. So.